What's up, guys? I'm back again to talk to you a little bit more about the games that came to me during the darkest time in my life that really served to bring me out of the pits of despair, in particular, Cyberpunk 2077. And guys, I hate to start here, but I always have to start here. The launch. Guys, the launch was an absolute disaster. And I hate to say that, guys, and I really hate talking about it because I love CD Projekt Red so much, but I feel like I have to talk about it in order to do them the justice that they deserve for such a miraculous turnaround, guys, because they really could have folded. The company could have just went away from the game and put all their chips in on their Witcher series, which is wonderful, and just say, hey, we tried something new and it didn't work. But they didn't do that, guys. They stuck with the game. They really wanted to get it right for us as fans, and I really appreciate them for doing that. So I'm glad they stuck with it. You don't want to give them too much credit for fixing something that should have been the way it should have been at launch, but you do want to give them credit for sticking with it and fixing it and not giving up on such a great new IP, guys, because the game was a disaster for all but the luckiest of us on PC with just the right setup that got lucky and they had the least amount of problems. But even then, there was no fix for the broken quest, some of the glitches, the blur, the pop-in, the broken graphics, guys. It was just an absolute disaster. And if you're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 in totality, we must talk about these things because this is what actually happened, guys. And so, moving on from the launch, to get hit with such an incredible character like Jackie. Guys, Jackie Wells is an incredible companion. He was such an amazing character to get hit with right out of the game, to hook you into, guys. I love when you meet a great companion like that, that just serves to bring you into the game like a springboard, setting you off on this grand adventure. Jackie did that for me. I had a little bit of a letdown. I don't want to say what it is, guys, because a lot of people have not played it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I know it's been out for a long time, guys, but there are a lot of people who have yet to experience Cyberpunk 2077, so I really don't want to do them a disservice and spoil anything. But Jackie was such a great companion, guys. And then I really want to touch on what really drew me to Cyberpunk 2077. What particular thing brought me out of that pit of despair? And that was V, the main character, him or her asking herself a profound question that we as human beings have always been asking ourselves for hundreds and thousands of years. And that's, will I be remembered? Will I be remembered, guys? Which leads into other questions like, do I matter? Does what I do matter? Am I making a difference? V truly wants to be remembered. And I will say that I do prefer female V. Her emotional tone, the way she leads into her emotions with her voice acting is incredible. No shade to male V because I switch back and forth between the two depending on my mood, but I usually prefer female V just for that reason. Incredible voice acting, guys, and asking herself that question, wanting to find it out and really being centered, front and center, because her time is running short for a certain type of reason, guys. So she really needs to answer this question, and she wants to do something fantastical, and she's wondering, is it something like the blaze of glory? And in her case, the literal blaze of glory, because she's in such high stakes situations dealing with the gangs of the city, all of these life and death situations, these grand situations that she has to be forced to face. And then ultimately, she may come to the conclusion that it doesn't really matter. All that matters is being respected by those around you, touching the lives of the people that are directly around you and there for you and being respected by them. Maybe that's what matters to you. Maybe that's what that question means. Will you be remembered? Maybe you only need to be remembered by those people. And that is a question that I had to ask myself. What did I want from myself in that way, guys? And so I set about this grand adventure as V. So amazing. I want to get to another major point for me, Night City. Guys, I cannot stress to you enough how incredibly detailed Night City is. I've been gaming for a long time. I have never seen a game so heavily detailed, a city so detailed to the degree of Night City. Every little nook and cranny is stuffed to the brim with loads of personality. It's absolutely stunning the amount of personality in this game, guys. I absolutely love it. Sometimes I just hop on my bike or hop in my car and I will ride around and just marvel at what they created, guys. The level of detail is unparalleled for a city, and I could see how difficult it was to get the code and to get this game to work properly because Cyberpunk has such unprecedented levels of verticality, guys. Cyberpunk scales high into the sky. You got the transit system high in the sky, basically a train in the sky, flying cars, skyscrapers, NPCs walking up their pathways through the skyscrapers, guys. It's just a lot, and I can see how this game was incredibly difficult for the devs. It's a masterpiece of game design and a great piece of ingenuity. Kudos to them for sticking with it, this grand vision and bringing it to life. But Night City is incredible, guys. I absolutely love it. Next, I want to touch on the Phantom Liberty expansion. And oh my goodness, guys, once again, CD Projekt Red leans into their rich history of amazing expansions. We all remember the Blood and Wine expansion from the Witcher 3 series. It was incredible. So is this expansion. The Phantom Liberty expansion overhauls the perk trees, overhauls the skill trees, overhauls the gear system, overhauls the combat. And the gear in particular, guys, was very important. Implementing a transmog effect where you weren't so beholden to the gear, because that was one problem I had with the original iteration of Cyberpunk, was you were so beholden to a piece of gear because of the stats and what it could do for your build, but it may not have fit your character style. It just may not have been the right look for your character. So I'm so glad that they added the transmog system, and I think that more RPGs should integrate a transmog system, sort of like the Assassin's Creed RPG games, where you're not so beholden to the gear and the stats, and you can really keep the gear that it looks a certain type of way that fits your character, especially for something as stylish as Cyberpunk, guys. And that brings me to another point. I was really worried when Cyberpunk was announced as being just exclusively first person. I was really worried, guys, because I was so used to and I love the Elder Scrolls and Fallout system of being able to switch between first and third person, because I love the first person combat, seeing the gun blast, the magic in the Elder Scrolls, the swords or whatever it is, guys. I love that, especially when it's weighty and it feels heavy. It really adds to the immersion of the game, and I absolutely love when they do that the right way. And so, but then I like to switch to third person when I'm in the cities and towns and talking, because I really like to see my hard-earned loot, my cool gear that I either crafted or saved up to buy, or either earn from a boss fight or anything like that. I want to see my gear, guys. So I was really disappointed. But then when I played the game, I understood exactly why they did that. It fit the narrative beats, the narrative storytelling. It just fits so much better. Cyberpunk in first person is way more immersive. So I became to understand exactly why they did that. And so it was a blast to play at the end. I'm actually glad that they did it. And plus I was happy that when you get on your bike, you can see yourself. Looking in the mirror, you can see yourself. So your gear is still important, guys. The swag still matters in the game, and I really wanted that. I didn't want the swag to be completely just eliminated, So I love that about the game, man. I love that they put it in first person. Ultimately became to be a blast to play, and I love that. I want to give a special shout out to Keanu Reeves, who plays Johnny Silverhand, and also Idris Elba, who came in for the Phantom Liberty. They didn't just come in as just some names and phone it in for a paycheck. They did an amazing job, amazing voice acting that really enhanced the game. I thought it was special what they did. Although I will say, I would have loved to have a path where you could remove Johnny from being in V's head, at least for the one playthrough. I love having that agency, the option. Don't get me wrong, I like having Johnny there, but it would have been nice to have a path where you can get rid of him early and just experience the game as V. That would have been really nice if they let you do that, because I've never been a big fan of having somebody in your head, like a voice in your head, or some type of surveillance that's watching over you. Sort of like how in Horizon Zero Dawn, Silence, played by the late, great Lance Reddick, he was looking over Aloy that whole time, surveilling her. And it was kind of creepy, him looking over her like that and listening to her most intimate moments. I always felt that ickiness of it, But not in a bad way like that, but just in terms of you don't want somebody looking at your intimate moments when you talking to people and things like that. Moments that really meant something to you in that way. So I was glad in Forbidden West when they changed that and he wasn't following her the whole entire time. And I will say, I just want to say one more time, rest in peace to Lance Reddick, incredible actor. The way he applied his craft, every character that he played, whether it was voice acting or live action, he was incredible, guys. So I really want to drive that home. Rest in peace to Lance Reddick, man. You will be missed. Back to the thought. I will say that Johnny was the same way for me. Sometimes I didn't want him there all the time, even though we know he's not really there. Which brings me to another point of what makes this game so incredible. Asking those great philosophical questions, because the best cyberpunk worlds are ones that ask philosophical questions, guys. And that brings me to the point of art too. They say games can't be art. Cyberpunk 2077 is absolutely art. And it's a definition of a game that can be art because it poses such beautiful philosophical questions. Two main questions come to mind. One, the construct of Johnny Silverhand. Is that really him? Is that his conscience? Some people say it's really him. Some people say, no, it's not really him. He's not his soul. It's not his body. It's just a machine with his thoughts. But then some say that that is him. That's his thoughts. That is him. And then it's also for the other denizens of the cyberpunk world. They're switching all these body parts off of them. You don't know if it's really them or if it's flesh or what. Like, they don't even have that much flesh anymore. It's mostly just armor, metal, and tech. So at that point, the question is, are you human? You see, guys, these are the great questions that a cyberpunk world, when it's done philosophically right, can ask us and really challenge us. And that's exactly what can make a game art. Posing those questions and then executing it beautifully. I really wanted to talk to you today about Cyberpunk 2077. What about the game brought me out of darkest times? And what about that question? Will I be remembered? I really needed to answer that question, and this game did that for me. It helped me find those reasons, guys. I want to give a big kudos to CD Projekt Red for making such an incredible game. I want to salute Cyberpunk 2077 for being everything that I needed in that time of my life and more. And I want to tell you guys what I always tell you. When we put effort to dreams, they become passions. And when dreams become passions, guys, they can change our lives. Peace and love.